Hi friends, Sergeant Host Eric here. Welcome to another exciting edition of The Type Police. Try as you might, you just can't hide, 'cause you're mistyped. And I've been waiting to pull you over all night. Type Police, Type Police, please pull that guy over. He says he's INTP, but seems extroverted, sensing to me. I think he's ESFP or Type Police. Hi, friends. So today, she got out from underneath my badge. Hold on, that's not appropriate, lady. I told you to sit there underneath my badge until I'm ready for you. Anyway, we got a lady over here. She says she's an INFJ. She's got 7,000 plus subscribers. Goes by the name of Wenzes. A recommended pullover by a concerned citizen. I could see why. As soon as I pulled her over, I thought, I got my doubts. Anyway, let's take a look and see what she has to say. Wenzes, come on out. Alright, here you are.
Hey guys, this is Wenzes from Below the Radar Above the System, and today's topic is how to deal with an ENTP if you're an INFJ. The hidden agenda of an ENTP is to be loved, because they tend to have these great ideas. ENTPs are big idea people, and they want to be praised for those ideas. They have like crazy ideas and they want to do this and that, and they feel like they have the right to tell everybody and to do, bring their thoughts to the outside as well. And a lot of times, because they're kind of like they have rather strong opinions which don't fit into society. Some people kind of push them out. It's a little bit similar to how we INFJs are perceiving the outside world. But the difference is the ENTP, because they have a strong thinking preference, they really and they're extroverts, they express their opinions more. So they have ideas and really great.
All right, so initial thoughts.
She's run around in circles.
Well, she is kind of mewing her way about. She's kind of like feeling her way out, I don't know if that's necessarily exclusive of the INFJ, although it's not exactly consistent with what you'd expect. What I've heard from this chick before, I think I've watched some videos of hers before, and if I'm not mistaken, this may be the same chick who said that ENTPs like to actualize externally. But I could be wrong. It could be a different chick who's kind of similar looking and also has an accent. Let's watch some more of her. Mostly what she's saying so far doesn't seem inconsistent with my understanding of functions, but that's kind of irrelevant. I'm trying to determine if she's INFJ or not. She is talking about intuitive subject matters, so let's continue and see what else she has to say.
Things that go through their head, and what they're gonna do with the day, and how to see this kind of thing and that, and which can bring a lot of creativity and new things into the world. And they're not as concerned with keeping the peace as we INFJs are. So we kind of like just keep to ourselves and don't bring everything out, and therefore we kind of feel like we're suppressed. And ENTPs feel like they want people to like them for their ideas. They want people to like them for who they are and what they bring. And this is a very sensitive point to them. My father is an ENTP, and he was always different. He was different, but he he wasn't about to hide it like I was. And he was, of course, different in completely different things. I was more into relationships, more into psychology, how this works, how that person feels, whatever. My dad was always more about politics, more about what are we going to do on vacation, where are we going to go, I'm going to organize this and that and see everything. And he wanted to be liked for that, and he was very sensitive towards that. So
let me say in response to that's not very ENTP-ish. Wanting to control where you're going and what you're going to see when you get there. Those are SE things. But that sounds like my dad. My dad's totally into planning vacations and determining where we're going to go see stuff when I was a kid. I've seen so many Civil War battlefields and heard my dad talk about it for, stand there, like in the South, it's like 94 degrees and it's 145% humidity. And
we still hear about it.
We're standing on a battlefield and my dad's like, now, son, over there, Stonewall Jackson gathered his cavalry. Son, are you paying? Son. For fuck's sake, Dad.
You just said the F word.
Oh, well. I said, for duck's sake. I get my F's and my D's confused sometimes. The YouTube algorithm will get that explanation and adjust accordingly. Anyhow, I'm a little bit off topic here. The point being, I don't even know what the point is. Let's go back to Wenzes here. All right, Wenzes, wow me with your INFJ hood. Oops, that's not going to do any good.
Did you already demonetize it?
Did I already do what?
Demonetize it because you said that.
No, it's not demonetized.
Yeah. My father was definitely not the healthiest ENTP, but as a kid, I didn't appreciate him in his opinion to that point because I didn't, his ideas didn't interest me, and I kind of let him know that. And so we had confrontations a lot because in his eyes, I didn't respect him enough. If you're a healthy ENTP, you can understand that, but another problem between this whole relationship was that I wasn't expressing my feelings either. I was a kid back then, so let's forget that. But nowadays, if you're an adult INFJ and you have an adult ENTP across from you, express your emotions. That's what they do. When they don't like something, they say it. If you don't like the way they're acting, just tell them.
She's right that's what we do. We express our emotions, and that's notable that she doesn't misunderstand that polar FI as being something that's cold or emotionless, but rather as sees it as a failure to regulate those emotions very well, often, when we're attending to them. So, okay, I could lean, I'm leaning towards letting her go. She's very comfortable. She's very comfortable and not super, practiced in her expression. But that's not exclusive of INFJ, and she's made a lot of videos. So it's natural that she's going to be pretty comfortable with that. You might be leaning ENFJ. I wouldn't blame you for leaning ENFJ if you are. But I don't think there's not adequate cause to throw in the slammer tonight. Let's continue watching her and see what else she has to say.
It might shock them at some point, but you'll see people when you tell them your emotions and how you feel about certain things, they might get offended for one moment, but in the long run it's always better because you're free. You told them who you are, you told them how you see things, and you can have a really great relationship with an ENTP if you see the similarities, as in you're different, but you're both you're different than the norm, but you're different in different directions. And if you appreciate the other one for bringing out who they are, then you can have a really meaningful and deep relationship. But very importantly, is that you state what it is. If some
So I want to point out something here. You might conclude, and probably be correct, that this lady's showing a fair amount of NE. But I would say that that's not at all inconsistent with an INFJ in the way that she's doing it here, which is to say, she's got a central idea, which she's sticking with, and she's ideating it out as she goes a bit, because it's necessary to be pretty strong in your fifth slot function, no matter what type you are. And the other thing is, if you look at the story she tells, so she's referring to her father, but she's not actually saying, this one time with Dad, I blah, 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 blah. She said, Dad always does this sort of thing. I responded in this sort of way, and that produced this sort of outcome. That's an NI kind of storytelling versus, say, well, for example, the SI style of storytelling that Loveloo used when talking about her childhood experience with the teacher and the specific instances where she got in trouble, was spanked, whatever. That's more SI storytelling. Now, that's not inconsistent necessarily with ESTP because, like I said, you're strong in your fifth function either way. And I'll just sort of toss it in here in this inappropriate spot in this video that I'm convinced that Loveloo is an SE Dom. In part because I didn't understand at first when I was watching that video just how much of a sexual person she is. And that's the thing about ESTPs and ESFPs is they're very sexual people, especially ESTPs. Like, intensely. They all are, as far as I can tell. And ENTPs are not that sexual. So, I mean, I find ESTPs a little bit like, whoa, what the hell? When I first met Sarah, an ESTP lady, and she shared with us one day, we just sort of casually chatting and mentioned that she'll bend over for anybody when drunk. I was just like, whoa, what? So anyway, that's neither here nor there. I think this Wenzes chick is possibly an ENFJ, but I would totally buy INFJ. And given the amount of experience she has making videos and the polish that she has in that capacity, like the comfort, I guess, not really polish, but comfort. The comfort explains some of the lack of polish. The fifth slot NE explains some of the NE we see. I do believe this is the same chick that I heard that other thing from that I was impressed with and took with me, for sure. The idea I for sure took with me. I'm not absolutely sure it's this chick, but the idea that extroverted intuitors actualize externally is a statement that I think this chick made one time in a video I watched, and I've referred to it ever since. That's an example of good NI, something that sticks with you like that, and an idea or a statement. Well, you know, in a video, a couple of videos back, I said something about INFJs that they don't grasp around looking for every way to say a thing. They try to find the single best way to say it and use that. And I thought that was a good NI moment, and somebody in the comments referred to it and quoted and said, this is exactly my experience as an INFJ. And so when people seize upon a single sentence or a thing like that and it sticks with them, well, that's an example of effective NI. Anyway, I think this chick's probably INFJ, so I'm going to let her go. And have a nice day, lady, Wenzes. You're quite an active YouTuber. And that's about it. Any last words here, Kimberly, before we move on to the next perp?
Nope.
Alright, thanks for watching. Don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. Oh yeah, I gotta play that song. Try as you might, you just can't hide, 'cause you're mistyped. And I've been waiting to pull you over all night. Type police, type police. Please pull that guy over. He says he